Hello and welcome to this all-new edition of Trowel Time. I'm Darren Thompson along with Brother Ben Tigner, and we're very excited to be bringing you all new stories, all new guests, and as you can see, a whole new set, complete with a new mascot. Our giraffe has long been in darkness, aka some random storage closet here at the Masonic home, and he is excited to have been brought to light, and now all he needs is a name.
And if you would like to participate in this naming venture, send us a note at the email address below, and we will try and get him named by the next episode. I will tell you right now, the leader in the clubhouse is Tuscan.
Tuscan. It'd be very tough to beat. He kind of looks like a Tuscan, but send those nominations in. So our first interview we would like to bring with you is with Worshipful Brother Andy Willermet. He's a 20-year member of WB Windsor Lodge number 363. He's also a member of Everett Lodge number 320 and a past master of both of those lodges. He holds honorary memberships in 5 lodges, and he is the current District Deputy Instructor and Mason of the Year for District 10.
An impressive resume. We will also be bringing you news and events from Worshipful Brother Darren Thompson from around the state of Michigan, and Worshipful Brother Dirk Hughes will be joining us for his Artifact segment, a new segment here on Trowel Time, one that I hope you will enjoy. But for now, let's start the show with our first segment with Worshipful Brother Andy Willermet.
Enjoy.
Thank you for joining us today. Why don't we start with telling me a little bit about your Masonic journey, what got you into the craft, why you decided to sign up with us?
I mean, as long as I can remember, I've at least been aware of the Masons. Even when I was young, I saw the symbols on cars and was always kind of curious as to what it was. I've always been a bit of a history buff, so I knew just a little bit about it, not a ton. But when I was in college at University of Michigan, I was doing a paper on the Civil War, and I was going through some firsthand sources, and I came across a letter. And this was a letter that a Union soldier was writing to his wife. And he was saying, hey, I've been wounded, I'm recuperating, but only a minor injury. I'm getting ready to go back with my unit. But there's a guy here who doesn't have a family, and he's a little more severely wounded, and he needs a place to recuperate. So I'm sending him to our home for you to help him recuperate. But don't worry, he's a Mason. He's a brother Mason. And I was really struck by that as to, what kind of organization or what's so special about a Mason where a man would essentially send this other man to his wife, and his wife doesn't know this person, and just being alone, just saying like, hey, don't worry about it, he's a Mason, he's good, would be enough to set her mind at ease. So that really sparked my curiosity. And then at the time I was working at Ford Motor Company, and there was a couple guys that I knew that were Masons that I worked with, and I just asked some general questions about, hey, what's it like? What is it about? And one day they just pulled me aside and just said, hey, you should come just check this out and see what it's about. So I went for a visit, and that started the journey. And I was really struck because I signed a petition. I went back to work. And no lie, I had people coming to me, I didn't even know them, from all around this factory, bringing me pennies, bringing me, all sorts of different trinkets, and being like, hey, I heard you're starting your journey. I heard you're starting, like, I was carrying this bag of pennies because everyone would say, here's a penny. I marked it in a certain way. I'll know which one it is. And if I ask you for it, you got to give me the right penny. So the whole time I was carrying this huge bag of pennies with me and all this other stuff. But it was interesting that all these guys I didn't even know were Masons were coming up to me and just saying like, hey, we're proud of you. This is going to be a great journey. So happy for you. And I was really struck by that.
How long have you been a Mason now?
2006 is when I was raised. And I was raised in Garden City, Tyrion Lodge, number 500, which doesn't exist anymore. So I was raised there, and I was really active for a couple years. And as often happens I was younger back then, with younger guys, they get busy with life and families and things like that. Ended up moving about 4 hours away from the lodge And so I wasn't that involved. And I had heard that the lodge lost their charter. And I was very upset by that. Now, I only been a Mason a couple of years, and I didn't know anything about Masonry. I didn't know how it worked. I didn't know the rules. I didn't know what Masons did. I just went to this meeting. And so I was essentially out of Masonry from 2007 to maybe 5 years ago. And I had prepaid my membership. So I never dropped. And there was a brother from now my home lodge, WB Windsor, who came by my house, knocked on the door and said, "Hey, have you thought about coming back?" I was like, yeah, I don't know. He's like, "Just come back." So I ended up coming back, went to a meeting, and I met two older brothers there. And it said, "Hey, we're going to visit another lodge. You should come with us." I'm like, "Visit another lodge? Like, what is that?" Because from my home lodge, we never went anywhere. We didn't visit any other lodges. We didn't do any of that. I didn't know that was a thing. So I think the first lodge we went to was Cadillac. And I met all these other brothers. And we just started traveling around. And, there was like 5 or 6 lodges. We were just making the loop. And after that, I was in. Then I started to understand. And so I'm very appreciative of both that brother who knocked on my door and didn't give up, and then the other brothers who basically said, hey, come along with us, and gave me that opportunity to do some work and learn some work, and lean in a little bit to risk and make mistakes, and that was it, man. It's just made such a huge difference in my life. As I often reflect on the different lessons in a different and I don't mean just lessons that you learn from ritual, but even lessons you're learning from the other brothers as you're going about doing your business or visiting other lodges, or you're doing charity work or whatever it might be. I'm often reflecting to that in my what I call regular life, because I think the biggest connection we need to make is, okay, great, you've learned all these things in Freemasonry. I always try and ask 3 questions, like, how are you applying this at work? How are you applying this in your community? And how are you applying this at home or with your family? And so I often reflect on those things. And I'm very grateful for the brothers around me and the craft in general, because it absolutely has made me a better man, better husband, better, employee, and a better citizen. And so I'm thankful for that. I can never repay that, but I'm happy to reap those rewards. Do my best to share it with others.
Welcome to the Trowel Time News Desk. I'm Darren Thompson, and now the news. Installation season was an exceptionally long one this year, with the final one happening just recently. In Cairo, a series of events caused the installation to be scheduled and rescheduled a few times, but they got it done. Congratulations to Worshipful Master Bill Finehout and all the officers installed. Speaking of installations, one of our favorite things is seeing all of the collective officer photos after the ceremony is over. And those pictures generally get the highest response of anything we share on our social media. You guys clean up well. At Zion Lodge number 1, there is a new tradition that has been started with a certain officer pose, which is an homage to Civil War times. Worshipful Brother Brian Jankowski started this a couple years ago. In 2026, Worshipful Master Scott Kuzma has continued it. Reached out to Brian Jankowski to learn more, and he wrote back, "There was an 1840s through 1860s tradition at West Point that the cadet who was first in his class would be photographed sitting while the other classmates are standing. Additionally, there are several photographs of officers during the Civil War where the senior officer is sitting while his subordinates stand around him. In Masonry, when the Worshipful Master gavels twice, all officers rise except for him. As a visual extrapolation of this in an officer portrait, the Worshipful Master sitting at a lower elevation with his officers standing around him at a higher elevation shows his humility, his strength, and their support, with an additional sign of support being his wardens placing their hands on his shoulders." Coming up around the state, Trenton Wyandotte Lodge number 8 will hold a spaghetti dinner fundraiser on April 25th from 4 p.m. to 6:30. LC Lodge number 238 will hold a breakfast Saturday, April 25th, and every last Saturday of the month from 9 a.m. to noon, with all proceeds benefiting the LC Baby Pantry. And of course, we're all gearing up for our 200th anniversary events. Registration is now open for annual communication number 200 at the Soaring Eagle Resort in Mount Pleasant. You can register at ac200michigan.eventbrite.com. Use the code MASON26 unless you are a voting delegate or a district or regional officer, in which case you have been sent a separate code. Advance notices, which contain further instructions, hotel information, proposed legislation, and much more, are posted in Grandview and at michiganmasons.org. Annual communication will kick off on Sunday, May 17th with a first-time ever visit from the Oklahoma Masonic Indian Degree Team. The team will be conferring the Master Mason degree for one of our own fellow crafts at 3 p.m. at the Soaring Eagle Resort. Admission is free, and there is no need to register, but you do need to bring your dues card. If you don't have your 2026 dues card, ask yourself this: have I paid my 2026 dues? Please arrive early as we anticipate a large crowd, and again, we will be checking those dues cards, so it could take a little time to get to your seat. Wednesday, June 24th is our actual 200th anniversary date, and we have a lot happening that day in Lansing. Starting at the Capitol with a tribute to be presented to our Grandmaster on the House floor. The session opens at 1:30. Please arrive plenty early. The gallery above holds about 125, but it is open to the public. We cannot reserve those seats just for us. If you're not able to get in, please stick around the Capitol, as we will gather for a picture for all Masons on the Capitol steps afterwards, about 2:15 to 2:30. From there, we'll move to the Lansing Center for a screening of our 200th anniversary documentary, A Light on the Lakes, followed by dinner and other festivities. Speaking of A Light on the Lakes, let's take a look at that trailer. Cannot wait to see that documentary, brothers. It will also be shown at annual communication, and if you would like to hold a screening in your area, contact Brother Ben Tigner at the contact information shown on your screen. Finally today, please be sure to save the date of Saturday, August 1st for Fellowcraft at the Fort. We'll be holding an outdoor Fellowcraft degree in the parade grounds inside Fort Michilimackinac. Break out your best colonial outfit for the occasion. Registration will be open soon, and we will be capping attendance at 300. The event is free, but we can only have so many inside, so don't delay once we get that posted. We'll be right back after this with the Masonic mailbag.
Every day we make choices. Choices to help ourselves, choices that help those around us. When it's time to make a choice about your senior living options, consider Masonic Pathways. We offer choices for entertainment, socialization, and most importantly, choices that make life easier for you. When it's time to discuss choices in your life, make Masonic Pathways your first choice and contact our admissions team today.
Welcome back, and now let's open the Masonic mailbag. From Chuck Garrow at Cadillac Clam Lake Lodge number 331. What is the relationship between Blue Lodge and Robert's Rules of Order? How do the rules affect our meetings? We asked Grandmaster Bill Saugat this very question, and here is his response. Although Robert's Rules of Order are helpful and instructive at times, Blue Lodges are not required to follow them. As a case in point, consider Section 6 of the Blue Book that provides the Rules of Order for the communications of the Grand Lodge. Insofar as they conflict with Robert's Rules, the Rules of Order in the Blue Book prevail. I'm unaware of any Masonic authority that dictates that Robert's rules are mandatory in their application. Thank you for that answer, Grand Master. Next, from Rod Ridgway, Worshipful Master of Elsie Lodge number 238. He writes, after the passing of a brother, if the family returns his apron, Bible, or other items to the lodge, is there a protocol on how to handle these items? We checked in with Grand Lecturer Tom Braun on this one, and he replied, there is no established protocol on how to deal with donated items. When family members return Masonic items, like aprons, regalia, jewelry, to a lodge, the lodge should treat them with respect and thank the family in writing for returning them. There are many families that do not have sons or other members to pass items on to. Items in good condition, such as aprons or jackets, can be cleaned and given to new members or donated to those in need. This preserves the legacy of the original owner while assisting others. Lodges also often create remembrance displays in dining areas or lodge rooms to honor past members. Thank you for that answer, and thank you to everyone who is sending in questions. Keep them coming to Brother Ben at btigner@michiganmasons.org, and maybe we'll get your question answered on the show. Before we go to a break, we'd like to give a special shout out to brothers who have been presented 70-year awards recently, including Brother Bill Horton of Kalamazoo Anchor Lodge number 22, and Worshipful Brother Jim Needham of St. Albans Lodge number 20. Brothers, thank you for your commitment to the craft. We'll be right back with more Trowel Time after this.
Are you looking for the latest Masonic apparel, materials, and literature from the craft? Look no more. At MichiganMasonicStore.com, you can find everything from hats and shirts to tumblers, blankets, and books. Our shirts come in a range of sizes and with logos and branding custom stitched for the Michigan Masons. Don't wait. Visit MichiganMasonicStore.com now.
Welcome back. Thank you to everyone that submitted letters. We appreciate you sending them in. Please continue to do so, and we will do our best to answer them. For now, we are here with Brother Dirk Hughes. Are you Worshipful Brother Dirk Hughes?
I am a Worshipful Brother Dirk
We were
Hughes.
talking about this off camera, actually. Dirk Hughes from the Michigan Masonic Museum and Library.
me.
The difference between a Worshipful Brother and a brother is...
A Worshipful Brother gets the title Worshipful as soon as he sits in the chair in the East as Worshipful Master. He becomes Worshipful Brother, and then he's referred to as Worshipful Brother from then on out. Prior to that, he's Brother. Now, a Grand Master, he gets Most Worshipful Brother. So only people who have served as Grand Master are Most Worshipful Brothers. Worshipful Masters, Worshipful Brother, and then we're all brothers. So we can technically just, most Grand Masters I've ever talked to just tell me to refer to them as brother, because I think that's kind of establishing how we're all on the level. As a matter of fact, I mean, Most Worshipful Brother Harry Truman, not only was he Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of Missouri and President of the United States, was very adamant about only being called Brother Harry. He's like, out there I'm Mr. President, but in here I'm Brother Harry.
That's the most Masonic thing ever.
Exactly. I'm with you.
That's great. But what we're actually here to discuss today is, I know, one of your favorite Masons of all time, Horace S. Roberts.
Well, you're one of my favorite Masons of all time, Ben. My favorite Mason is whoever I'm sitting next to at the time.
Sure.
But I am very fond of Most Worshipful Brother Horace Roberts. And so this is actually an artifact that's tied to him. A real quick thing on Most Worshipful Brother Horace Roberts. He was Grand Master, installed in 1861. He was the youngest Grand Master in the Grand Lodge of Michigan history. He was installed at the age of 33. He was very involved with the militias of Detroit and in the military. So only a couple months after he was installed as Grand Master in January of 1861, in April, with the attack of Fort Sumter, he actually was mustered out and served the rest of his term as Grand Master in the military and had to be kind of covered by his deputy Grand Master. But before he was Grand Master, before he was Most Worshipful Brother Horace Roberts, he was in Lansing and he moved to Detroit and joined Union of SO number 3 and became their Worshipful Master for like 6 consecutive terms. So for a long time, we didn't have any artifacts dealing with Horace Roberts except a Deputy Grand Master jewel that was awarded him or given to him as a sign of appreciation back in 1857 before he was ever Grand Master. We've never been able to locate a Grand Master or past Grand Master jewel. We have that Deputy Grand Master jewel, and I knew that after him spending 6 consecutive terms at Union of SO number 3 from like 1851 to 1857, let's say, I think it's about right.
Ish.
Is that I knew or I felt there had to be some kind of past master jewel tied to him. It was very common for those to be given or made in show of appreciation of a master. And he was past master after like 1851. So he would have been eligible, shall we say, to wear a past master's jewel from 1851. We could never find it. Just within this last year, I got a phone call from the secretary of Union of SO, number 3 in Detroit, saying that as he was exploring one of their old safes, he found an artifact that he thought I might be interested in.
Unbelievable.
And so what this is, first of all, the clue that he found something that was significant was probably from the case. And it says Horace Roberts. Boom, we know this is Horace Roberts' case. The case is wonderful. It's customized. It's the shape. So I'm going to open this up, and so this is kind of like a unicorn artifact, something that you suspect exists, but you're not really sure where it exists or who has it. Well, it was in a safe somewhere at Union of SO number 3 for over 100 years. And what this is Most Worshipful Brother Horace Roberts' past master jewel. So this would have been given to him before he became Most Worshipful, but when he became Worshipful Brother. So we're not really sure exactly which date, which of those terms as Worshipful Master this was awarded for. There are some engravings of some people on the back who we suspect might be officers. We don't know. With him plus the names engraved equals 7. And so that sounds kind of like an officer corps. So we're just going to do a little bit more research on that and see if we can find out specifically which date this was awarded to Most Worshipful Brother Roberts when he first became Worshipful Brother Horace Roberts. These probably weren't made by vendors. Real big fraternal manufacturers didn't really exist at this time. So this is probably a customized piece
Sure.
that the Brothers of Union of SO number 3 had made by somebody in the area, is my guess. So it is really kind of a unicorn find. It's one of our prized possessions to me because it satisfied a mystery. I kind of suspected that this always existed somewhere. And now we have it on loan from Union of SO number 3. Thank you, Brothers of Union of SO. And so they can have it back when they ask for it, but they realize that it's probably going to get more attention and appreciation at the Michigan Masonic Museum and Library in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So if you want to see it, stop by us and take a look, and you'll see a real nice close-up, and you'll be able to check out some of those engravings. You want to see it?
Absolutely. No, I was going to ask you, when was the last time you had something this significant just come your way in a phone call or an email or something
Just
like
come
this?
out of
Yeah.
come out of the what do you call it? Come out of the blue. I tell you what, as far as actually physically getting something, that's the most recent. One of the things that we prize heavily at the museum and library is what we call the Washington apron. That's owned by Saugatuck. It's been at the museum for a few years now, but it was really, to me, one of those significant pieces to actually have at the museum. The Brothers of Saugatuck were kind enough to loan it to us so people could see it through there, and it's tied to George Washington, so that's a pretty cool artifact. We also have some clues and some possible whispers of another artifact. I don't want to say anything about it. That might be on the horizon that we might be able to acquire. And I probably shouldn't even put those mysteries out there because then people are going to say, what is it? Well, it's another officer jewel of someone we didn't quite know that the jewel existed. We knew that the brother existed. Or shall I give a little hint? The Most Worshipful Brother existed. So this jewel is another one of those. It's probably going to be one of our more significant pieces if we are able to acquire it for the museum.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us this week, Dirk. We hope you come back for the next Trowel Time and share with us some more great artifacts. This was great.
If you'll have me, I'll be here.
We will have you. All right. Thanks, everybody. We will be right back after these messages.
Have you always wanted to create a will but not sure where to begin? We will make it easy for you to create a legally valid will in 20 minutes or less. The best part, it's completely free. Go to our website to look through our planned giving options. You can choose to leave a gift to MMCF, the Michigan Masonic Home, or your lodge or chapter's charity account, changing lives for future generations. This service is free whether you choose to leave a gift or not. Don't delay. Start your legacy today.
And that concludes this first episode of our all-new version of Trowel Time. We hope you enjoyed the new format. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment below.
Yes, and send us your ideas. I'll put up an email address at the bottom of the screen for you to share success stories about your brothers, your lodge, your community, and, if possible, we might even be able to have you here on set with us.
Who wouldn't want that? So again, thank you for watching, and we look forward to bringing you the next edition of Trowel Time.